Hello everyone. Remember this letter from the chairman, December 2024-2025, a focus on playability. As we jump into the new year, our primary focus across our Star Citizen teams is clear: improving playability. Our drive for playability surrounds three critical areas: performance, stability, and content. A lot of people thought, fantastic, they are finally working on playability. That's so nice. And then I saw this on Spectrum. The epiphany we've had is, okay, we need to focus on how the game plays now. We've got to improve the quality of life. We got to improve the user experience. Chris Roberts wrote to release CitizenCon 2018. This means more than 6 years ago, Chris already played this card.
And we're running a live game, and that's sort of the epiphany that we've had internally, which is, okay, we need to focus on how the game plays now. We've got to improve the quality of life. We've got to improve the user experience, the UI, how you get into it, make it accessible, ensure that the gameplay right now is polished. We're not there yet, but we are definitely working towards that every single release, and that is a priority for us.
Yeah, Chris thinks we are stupid. Chris thinks we forget. Chris can just play the same hand again. Playability in year 13 is still trash. Not even elevators work reliably. And Chris is not wrong. I actually forgot about this, so thank you very much for this screenshot. So I thought maybe I can find more. Let's see.
We evaluate where we are, set priorities, and make adjustments while also looking at quality of life issues in the current gameplay. Are the ththings that we want to address for quality of life, or things we could do in the game to make the gameplay right now feel better. Because ultimately, the amount of functionality that we have actually in the game right now, if it all works together and works well, is more than a lot of release games. Sea of Thieves just came out, and we have like more variety of missions, hell of a lot more ships, a bunch more stuff that you can do, and a lot more area to play in.
Gameplay is getting a lot of attention this quarter as we are trying to focus on quality of life improvements and upgrades to current in-game systems and features.
Things that we're trying to fix towards 3.5, which are more like quality of life improvements and making sure that it's as bug-free as we possibly can. I think just general fixes and basically quality of life stuff. That's been a major one.
We've had a lot of talk lately about a renewed focus towards quality of life fixes and making the game as it is now more enjoyable, more stable. What can you tell us a little bit about what that plan is for quarter 4? I know we've got 3.7.1 on the P2 right now. Take us through what you know.
Yeah, so 3.7.1 is up on PTU now. There's definitely, when we went live with 3.7.0, there were some issues, there were some bugs that we definitely wanted fixed, but we wanted to go ahead and get 3.7 out the door. So we're working towards those things, and we're trying to get that live. And then yeah, looking ahead to this rest of this quarter, I think we definitely want to do at least one more point patch, and then we'll obviously have 3.8 at the end of the year. And you're right, like there is a absolute push right now to get more focus on quality of life fixes.
And we've also been shifting to quality of life staggered development, which is, you saw a little bit of that in Alpha 3.7. We're more serious about that. So we've moved the teams to 6-month cycles. We're still delivering patches every 3 months, but the teams themselves get 6 months to work on their features or their content that will go into whatever patch they're sort of designated for.
Is there still a small team working on quality of life bug fixes? The game keeps getting new stuff, but there are still loads of persistent bugs that make playing what we have frustrating.
It's actually company-wide.
Hey everybody, the upcoming 3.17.2 patch looks to bring with it a variety of new gameplay opportunities, bug fixes, and quality of life improvements.
We also have an expectation that teams account for time to address what we call quality of life issues and bug fixing. And so along with the feature development commitments, because we would need to develop this specific feature, we ask for teams to account for unknown unknowns, we ask for teams to account for tech debt, we ask for teams to account for quality of life and bug fixing. And so it's just a matter of what percentage of the team's times are spent on each of those allocations. And often new feature development dominates the team's schedule, but there are times where we pull those levers around and we say, okay, we're going to need to spend more time on quality of life this quarter, or more time on bug fixing, or more time on tech debt.
There's some minor improvement. For example, NPCs are now reacting to us much better, but overall there's very little progress. Here we have a spectrum posting from Conic 1, 2025, Year of Stability, Quality of Life. I went through the most impacting bugs, took the first 40 to 45 top-level replies and summarized the upvotes to find out what were the most challenging in-game features which made the community become a headache half a year ago. Here's a list with the current status of each. Issue description, votes, status. Inventory bugs, 945 votes, still present. Transport elevators, 878 votes, still present. Mission markers or quantum markers, 569 votes, still present. Falling to the ground, 534 votes, still present. ER Stasis and ER 13 is still clip galore. This was at the weekend. Ships destroyed in hangar, 481 votes, still present. Planetary cargo elevators broken, 432 votes, still present. Quantum travel breaks up, 401 votes, improved but still present. Enemies not spawning, 319 votes, still present. Set a route on star map, 268 votes, still present. Desyncs, 133 votes, still present. Yeah, we still have a lot of desync issues, even of players moving at player speed. No rearm or refuel possible, 119 votes, improved but still present. Item recovery, 119 votes, tier 0, implemented. Losing items that are stored, long-term persistence, 116 votes, still present. Yeah, people are still losing components, items, even ships they bought every new patch. Female characters have disadvantages, 97 votes, still present. I don't know exactly what this is, please leave a comment. I don't play female characters. Polaris, ramming exploit, 87 votes, fixed. Advanced HUD disappearing, 82 votes, fixed. Quantum jump ejects players while walking in ship, 81 votes, still present. Yeah, this happened to me a lot. Item switching from weapon to medpan, 69 votes, improved but still present. Losing cargo to the ship auto-storing, 62 votes, improved but still present. Inventory items do not stack, 55 votes, still present. CRG's inventory and item reduction system is one of the worst I've ever seen in any game. It's not fun. Flight model, 54 votes. Freight elevators, 53 votes, still present. Yeah, freight elevators still don't work reliably. Inventory search, 51 votes, implemented but not working. Trespassing when mission completed, 47 votes, still present. Yeah, people are finishing their mission, they get a message you are trespassing, they go into the ship, they want to fly away, and they get shot at by turrets. Can't call ships from Aesop, 40 votes, still present. And we still have players who cannot access their personal hangars at their first spawn location. I know that the votings do not represent the entire community, but at least the vocal ones might ask themselves if there is any roadmap plan how CRG wants to address them. By looking at the statistics and realizing that we are all half a year older now, for me the question is, what are your targets with regards to quality of life, and are they still achievable this year? Based on the top 25 rated issues by the community, 12% seems to be fixed, but 88% are still broken. I think Chris' promise of 2025, the year of stability, playability and bug fixing, will fall flat, like so many other promises Chris made. And actually 2018 was already the year of stability, playability and bug fixing. Just a few examples. Polygon, March 2nd, 2015. Building galaxies in Star Citizen's expanding universe. If the money stopped today, would you be able to get all the things out you promised? Absolutely, says Roberts, creator of Wing Commander and Freelancer. Just a reminder, this was more than 10 years ago. By the end of this year, 2015, backers will have everything they originally pledged for, plus a lot more, Roberts says. But of course, our intention is that it's a much bigger, more expensive, huger game than I ever considered we could do. More than 10 years later, we don't even have 10% of the stretch goals. Let this sink in.
3.3. Here's the one. Who knew farming was so popular? So what we're going to aim for 3.3 is farming, sort of the rescue side. Yeah. And then you can hit Tony up about all this here, because yet more fleshing out what we're doing with Stanton, and the anvil carrick, which I think everyone's that's is the 890 jump, right? And the merchantman. So there you go.
This was Chris' speech, SeasonCon 2016. According to his speech, we were supposed to get farming and being a merchantman in 3.3 autumn 2017. Yeah, both are still nowhere to be seen.
There we go. And then finally, 4.0. So this is which will be that'll be the first time we'll go beyond Stanton to other star systems. I'm not going to say how many star systems yet. Depends how much we'll be able to build with our content pipeline, which we'll show you a little bit up and coming here.
4.0 was supposed to come at the beginning of 2018 with multiple new star systems. Well, we finally got 4.0 at the beginning of 2025, 7 years too late, with just one new star system, not multiple star systems. And of course, Orion and Crucible are still nowhere to be seen. These were just a few examples. I could go on for hours. I'm thinking more and more, even if CRG would have twice as many people, they couldn't fix their major issues. CRG's code is terrible with quick and dirty fixes, several layers on top of each other. CRG's engine is old and obsolete with massive clipping, LOD and culling issues. More examples, this was recently. I didn't even try to do this just happened. Look here, empty paper bag. Okay. Do we have save upright? I guess no. Okay, I was about to stop anyway. And we have things coming out of the roof, and now we clipped to the vehicle. Stasis in year 13 is still clip galore. And now I clipped to the ship. This is an old bug that is still in the game. You can clip into almost any ship with an interior. This means you can easily steal ships.
How do you plan to protect the player's ship from someone coming on board during a manual loading process and flying away or stowing away on board? Basically, how can players protect themselves during this vulnerable time?
Yeah, I think the bigger question is, how are you going to protect your ship and your cargo that's being loaded and unloaded on your ship?
CRG lost too many devs who know what they are doing and replaced them with cheap, young and inexperienced people. Not only John Pritchett is sorely missed. It takes a professional to look through CRG's bad code, trying to fix it, but even a professional would have problems, and again, not many pros are left working at CRG. It is totally fine to give young, inexperienced people a chance, but they need people around them who know what they are doing. To be honest, I think we will never get the game Chris promised us. The best we can hope for is a very mediocre game with just a few star systems, lots of bugs, lots of clipping issues, missing mechanics, still lots of do things and performance issues, and almost no physics. And even this is years away. I give Chris this. Star Citizen is a very huge and very ambitious project. However, Chris made the promises, not we, the backers. And Chris CRG never have a plan, never have a concept, never think in advance, never think things through. This is why we have all those reworks of reworks of reworks of reworks. This costs time and money, Chris. 2025 is the best year in funding, so I guess Chris can just continue this for another 13 or even more years. I don't want Star Citizen to fail. I want Star Citizen to become a fantastic game and a huge success. But I have no trust in Chris and CRG's management anymore. As long as people are still buying chips like crazy, nothing will ever improve. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen. And now we have Flickr self-destructing a hover quad at a caterpillar. Let's see if the caterpillar gets destroyed. Okay, Flickr, it's your show. I hope that Flickr can make it.
Self-destruct activated.
I hope that Flickr can make it. Okay, I can catch up to the caterpillar. Okay, I see a landing gear. Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter or on Blue Sky.